of ETMarkets IPO Talk, a show where we talk about the latest and biggest IPOs in the stock market. My name is Neha Vashisht, and today we have Mr. Kranti Batini, equity strategist at WealthMills Securities, with us. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Kranti.
Thank you, Neha, for your invitation to share my views on Mankind IPO.
Okay, so let's start with the first question. Mankind Pharma is all set to launch its IPO on April 25th, that is next week. So the company will be raising around 4,325 crore rupees via this IPO. What do you think about this IPO? And I think we can safely say this is the biggest IPO till now for this year, right?
Absolutely. Till now, this is the biggest IPO for this year. And what we are witnessing from quite a last couple of quarters is there is a subdued interest with respect to IPOs are concerned. Because if you see 4-5 quarters back, there was a complete exuberance and euphoric mood was there in terms of the IPOs are concerned. Right now, because of the consolidation in the market and also the performance of the previous, most of the IPOs have been not up to the mark. So we can see some kind of lukewarm response that has been coming with respect to IPO market is concerned, the primary market is concerned at this point of time. We need to wait and watch. Is Mankind Pharmaceutical is a contrarian to the normal trend? We need to wait and watch definitely. But it's an interesting IPO.
Definitely. It is one of the biggest pharma companies in India as well. According to its red herring prospectus, the domestic sales of Manforce brand has a market share of approximately 29.6%. And when it comes to Prega News brand, domestic sales represent a market share of 79.7%. Now, I feel that's a pretty big number. What do you think about the company's market presence?
Yeah, one of the uniqueness about Mankind Pharmaceuticals is concerned. Normally, if you name majority of the pharmaceutical companies in India, predominantly most of the revenue that comes from the North American region. Whereas Mankind have a different business model, very unique business model. 97% of their revenues comes from the India. It's a very different, unique business model, and they have strong OTC businesses that are over-the-counter sales. They have different products which get sold at a OTC model, which have high margin in terms of their business prospects are concerned. So this is a very unique business model right now, and they derive revenues from different parts of the consumer healthcare and the consumer business, and they have a very good diversified business model in terms of their revenue. That's how the company is uniquely placed among the different pharmaceutical companies that are available in the market.
Right. So for the next question, I have some numbers here with me. Mankind posted a net profit of 996 crore rupees for 9 months that ended on December 2022. Now that number is down from 1,243 crore rupees in the same period of preceding year. The company's revenue from operations for the same period rose nearly 11% to 6,697 crore rupees. So can we talk about the business fundamentals of the company as well?
Yeah. Neha, coming to the downtrend in the business, okay, in the last previous quarter and previous year, okay, as per the commentary from the management is, if you observe the overall trend of the pharmaceutical business, post-COVID, okay, there is a downtrend in terms of the pharmaceutical business is concerned. Okay, during the COVID pandemic waves time, the pharmaceutical sector and their sales has been quite robust in terms of the chronic therapy and also antivirus. All the segments are concerned. So coming to last financial year, of course, there is a subdued kind of numbers that have been posted by all the pharmaceutical companies. So there is a impact on this company also. There is no sideways in terms of the revenues are concerned. Of course, there is a slight reduction in terms of their revenues for the financial year, but overall their margins are in line, and the management is not in a position to comment on the forward looking of the earnings are concerned. But at this point of time, the stock is with respect to their earnings, and also with respect to the pricing they've placed, it is currently at a PE range of around 27 PE, okay, which is fairly
Hmm.
valued at its peers. But one thing, Neha, see, we need to pursue pharma as a recessionary proof right now,
Hmm.
and also as Mankind Pharma is, it is completely focused on India's revenue.
Yeah.
uh, if you have to see the dynamics of the pharma as a sector in India, of course, by going with the demographic dividends and of India is concerned, India is a quite young nation. So when a population is young, you don't need that much of medical facility, medical budgets are concerned. But COVID
Hmm.
changed this complete view, because COVID
Right.
impacted everyone, every family, most of the families in the economy, despite of the young nation demographics, and everybody have a budgets with respect to their healthcare is concerned. And I never expected. I was also victim of COVID in the second wave, and I spent quite
Hmm.
a big amount of money towards treatment with respect to the COVID is concerned when I was admitted in hospital. So I never
Right.
expected I'm going to spend such a huge amount with respect to the treatments are concerned.
Hmm.
So that notion has changed right now. The healthcare budgets have been going up with respect to India as the economy is concerned. And couple of yesterday only we surpassed the population of China. Such a right now India is the one of uh, the highest populated country. So
Yeah.
kind such a presence with respect to Indian demographics are concerned, and 97% of
Hmm.
revenues are derived from India. They're well positioned to take the growth prospects of India's healthcare is concerned, and India's pharma business is concerned, and how they are going to position with respect to their oncology business and other parts of the business, chronic business are concerned. These are the different
Hmm.
dynamics that are going to drive their future revenues.
Definitely. So coming to the IPO details, the price band has been set between 1026 to 1080 rupees. Do you think the issue is priced right?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the price earning ratio of the PE multiple of the company is coming to 26 PE with respect to FY24 earnings are concerned. So, if we have to compare the peer group comparison, the pricing of the issue is fairly valued. I don't say it is a overvalued or undervalued. It's fairly valued with respect to the peer group comparison is concerned at this point of time. But we need to wait and watch how the company earnings are going to pan out in next couple of quarters. That is extremely crucial with respect to the sustainability of the earning multiple of PE of 26 is concerned.
Right, right, right. So this IPO is entirely offer for sale as well by the promoters and investors. What does that mean? Can you explain it to our audience?
See, by and large, there is not much of a difference. Okay, the OFS with respect to their IPO is concerned. Okay, I'll just explain in a simple way for the understanding of our viewers. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, this particular IPO is a OFS, that means offer for sale. That means the company is not raising the capital or diluting the capital. The Mankind IPO is concerned. Right now, there are some strategic existing investors who have invested in this company long back,
Hmm.
and through this IPO, the existing investors are exiting, and this is through a offer for sale. They're not raising any capital right now, and they're not uh, clearing with the proceeds of the issue is concerned. They're not uh, clearing any of their debt because they don't have debt on their balance sheet. This issue is by and large basically for the giving a exit window for the existing investors are concerned. So this is the reason the issue is purely called as a IPO in the form of a OFS for the existing equity shareholders of the company.
Right. So is this a right time for investors to expect the initial pop, or they should look for long-term investment? What should investors do?
See, overall, the dynamics of the pharmaceutical industry, the valuations looks attractive with respect to the pharmaceutical industry is concerned. And this company
Hmm.
don't have a overhang about normally majority of the pharmaceutical businesses where the operate is US FDA concern, US FDA inspection. There is a lot of complaints is are there. But this company don't, since they focus mainly on a Indian domestic market. Uh,
Right.
they don't have this kind of overhang on their business. But one thing is the in India the domestic business is it's a very highly competitive business, and the volumes and margins are limited. So how the company is going to increase their future volumes, and how they are going to get position in terms of their business model, that is extremely crucial going ahead with respect to the mankind pharma is concerned. But there are some interesting facts. The company was started in 1995 with a 50 lakhs capital. Today, with
Hmm.
this IPO, the market cap of the company ranging between 43,000 crores at a higher brand. So the kind of wealth they created all these years for a span of 27 years, whether the same kind of earnings momentum it's going to continue or not is the greater theme for the investors going ahead.
Right. Moving to the last question, I want to know about ask valuation. What about the ask valuation? Is it a bit expensive if compared to the industry average?
Yeah, see, as I mentioned earlier, okay, with respect to their price earnings are concerned at a higher brand, it's coming around
Hmm.
26 PE multiple,
Right.
which is when I have to compare with the current year valuations, FI 24-year valuations are concerned, it is fairly valued at this point of time. But as I mentioned, next couple of quarters, the company performance is extremely crucial. How they are going to launch the new product segments, and also the sustainability of the margins. These are the key things investors need to keep in mind while taking any investment decision with respect to mankind IPO is concerned. With a high risk appetite, investors definitely they can subscribe for this IPO, but don't expect the listing gains. Okay, those are the things. Earlier there was a mood for the investors. They used to subscribe for
Hmm.
every IPO and try to exit on a listing day. These are not the times at this point
Yeah.
of time. So one need to understand the dynamics of the market. One need to understand the dynamics of the business of the company, and also how the future earnings that are going to line up. These are the things one need to keep in mind while applying for the IPO, and also how the anchor book is going to be. Till now, the anchor book is not announced till now. How the anchor book is going to be in the coming days. These are the factors that are going to determine the listing and the performance of mankind pharmaceutical is concerned going ahead.
Right. And I think for the long-term investments, I think the IPO seems to be in a better position considering the bearish momentum that we've been seeing in the market, as you mentioned earlier. Lastly, I want to also know about the overall outlook. Is it positive? Is it negative? And should investors subscribe? The basic question, should you subscribe?
See, for a longer term point of view, since the company is mainly focused 97% of their revenues comes from India, so they don't have any extra uh, uh, international risk for the business model. It's more about the domestic driven business model. So
Right.
definitely investors with a long term horizon, they can subscribe for this
Hmm.
IPO. And one of the crucial thing investors need to keep in mind is next coming quarters revenues are extremely important. How the business, the initial business they are going to post. This is extremely important for the company, and how they are going to drive their OTC business in the coming quarters also extremely crucial going ahead.
Well, very well explained. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Kranti. We have reached the end of our segment today. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Livestream.
Thank you, Neha. Always my pleasure to share my views on ET Live.
Thank you so much.